Alright, today I'm going to be changing the alternator on a 2007 Toyota Camry. I believe this is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. And first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get down in here. There's a 19 millimeter tensioner bolt, which you need to get right up in between that pulley in the belt, and then you're going to pull it towards the front of the car. And it's going to be kind of hard with a regular socket because I don't have much leverage. Alright, to remove the alternator after you get the belt off, you're going to remove this clip here, and then there's two accessories right there. You can take those off with the 10 millimeter. And the new alternator doesn't have this bracket here for the harness to be able to plug into, so we're going to unscrew that piece there and put that onto the new one. After you get this unclipped and these undone, you're just going to pop this right here with a screwdriver, and down here it's going to be a 14 millimeter and a 12 millimeter bolt. Okay, after you get the alternator out, you're going to remove this bracket. I had a little hard time trying to get it out with a screwdriver right here, so an 8 millimeter wrench will also work. It'll be kind of hard to get in there with a socket because of how thick it is, so we're just going to transfer that over. Okay, so after you get the alternator put back on, I didn't film this part. It was very hard to do. I didn't even have the right tools. The breaker bar that I had didn't fit the 19 millimeter socket that I had, so I had to improvise with the socket and put a wrench on the end of it, and then use a plier on top of that. Just make sure all the teeth line up, make sure nothing is off, because you don't want the belt to wear out quicker. And then just going to put all this back together, just put everything right back into place as it should be, and snap in the new alternator here. You're going to take off these bolts and then just use the other hardware, put everything else back in that came off of it originally. And that's pretty much it. I didn't get to film too much. So make sure you always have the right tool for the job, otherwise you're going to make it difficult on yourself. Get a little scuffed up here, but it's alright. So hopefully that was the problem with this vehicle, and hopefully it starts. And make sure before you start, go ahead and unplug the negative first. And that's it. Alright, so I'm just going to do a little quick review of some of the tools that I use, like pretty much every time I work on the cars. So I got this Milwaukee M12 fuel ratchet. So I bought this, it was $225 at Northern Tools. And actually I got a friend there that works there, so she gave me her discount. Took some of that off. This thing's it's really dirty. I'm going to clean this up. That goes with the territory. And so I got the 3/8 ratchet, and it came with 2 batteries, a charger, and the case, all for the $225. Got the box over here. So it claims up to 55 foot-pounds of torque, greater durability, more access to tight spaces. I mean, of course, it's much bigger, bulkier than your average little socket wrench, but this thing saves your life. It saves so much time. It gets everything done just so much quicker, as opposed to you sitting there turning a socket wrench just over and over and over. You just you pull that lever and just watch all that magic happen. So this is a really good buy. That's been a really good tool. It's been holding up pretty much everything that I've done so far. And then I got this little Stanley socket set. I guess these go for about 80 bucks at Walmart. Actually, somebody was selling this on OfferUp, so I got it for about 60 bucks. Guy let it go for that much. Talked him into it. And it's just, kits like this are just convenient because you don't have to go through a whole big toolbox just trying to find what you need. I mean, you got so much stuff in here, everything's just scattered. Got these Craftsman screwdrivers there because over the years lost quite a bit of screwdrivers. So I mean, it wasn't too bad. I think it was like almost 40 bucks for all those. Pliers out the yin yang. Some files. Allen keys for days. And not too much in there. And all kinds of junk down here. Air impact gun, which I barely use. But this kit here has actually, it's held up. So you got your main basic sockets. Actually, the only complaint that I do have is those Stanley socket wrenches. They're garbage. So out of my other kit that I have, I had a good wrench set. So that's a GM good wrench socket wrench. This thing has been fantastic. I've probably had this, I'd say like 19 years now. That thing has really held up. But these sockets, they haven't given me any problems. They haven't scorched any nuts or anything like that. They haven't stripped anything. They've all held up. Of course, it comes with the Allen keys as well. And I like this right here, so you can just put miscellaneous things in there. Other screwdrivers, just other parts, whatever you need. That's a hydraulic clutch line remover right there. And this actually was a spring that came out of my car for the clutch pedal, and then just some nuts for that was on the Berger panel on the back. But you get your Allen keys, star keys, and screwdriver bits there. And I also have Milwaukee impact gun. It's not a fuel, but it gets the job done, brushless. And I think these are rated maybe 130 foot-pounds of torque. And then got a basic drill here as well. These things are great. A lot of power. And they're really compact and good for their size. I ended up getting this whole thing for $200. There's also a Northern Tools deal. So at Northern Tools, it came with the drill, the impact gun, and this charger there. And it came with 2 batteries and a Milwaukee pack-out box, all for $200. And you know, I get this a little more organized, but I get all that right in there, so I know where all my Milwaukee tools are at. But that's it. I did not do too good of a job on that video when I was videotaping that Camry changing out the alternator. It's just, I had some complications, some snags, so it got a little complicated, but it's done. Car's fine. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Anything you want to see, go ahead and let me know.